Right, it looks like we're back again, ladies and gentlemen, with a compilation of creepy and mysterious videos. And these ones right here are going to prove that what we've been told is a complete lie. Let's check this.
Started to basically have with me, and I was screaming. I never had before. It was my first time.
That's Katie Johnson, a pseudonym for the woman who claimed in 2016 that Trump her when she was just 13 years old at Epstein's Manhattan residence in 1994. When she was set to speak to reporters about one of her lawsuits against the men, she abruptly backed out, citing multiple threats.
She has decided that she's too afraid.
Then she dropped the case entirely. Now the horrifying details of the anonymous woman's claims are resurfacing after Trump's refusal to release the Epstein files despite spending years promising he would. It's caused suspicion even from MAGA. In lawsuits, Johnson alleged she was recruited under false pretenses to Epstein's parties and forced to be a... That's when she says Trump forcibly her as she pleaded for him to stop. She even claimed that he threatened to kill her and her family if she ever told anyone what he and Epstein had done to her. It's important to note that none of Johnson's allegations have been proven in court, and her identity has remained anonymous, making her claims hard to prove. But they're worth investigating given the numerous credible SA accusations against Trump, his public comments about young women and girls, and his close relationship with Epstein from the late 80s through the early 2000s. The two did have a falling out in 2004, but it wasn't about Epstein's illegal conduct. It was over a Palm Beach mansion bidding war. If anything has become clear in the years following Epstein's death, it's that the powerful can get away with almost anything in the US. The criminal justice system doesn't protect victims. It protects those with power time and time again. Not a single person involved with Epstein is currently in prison for their crimes against children, except for Ghislaine Maxwell. This isn't left versus right, it's up versus down, and we know what side Trump is on.
Probably a reason why Trump don't want those Epstein files released. Calling him a creep and distancing himself after how many years of a relationship? Interesting.
What were you trying to do in the first place?
Originally, I just set out to make a fancy Jacob's ladder, and this was like what it turned out to be.
A lot of people don't know what a Jacob's ladder is. Tell them what it is.
Simply, in a nutshell, it's two metal rods with a spark going up in between it.
He decided that if he got enough electricity together, he could build a time machine, because there is the concept that if you're going to do it, it's going to require an enormous amount of energy.
Yeah, until it got roughly 20,000 volts.
20,000 volts?
Yeah.
So you went from 110 to 20,000?
Yeah, roughly. The right above it, it was a regular heat signature, but it was like almost kind of like circular shaped in the center. See, I didn't know what this thing was, and it was like, I don't know, I just got the notion to throw a screw in it to see like what it did.
So you threw a screw into the circular area?
I've talked to a couple of physicists, but they call it a vortex, but...
All right, you threw it into what we'll call the vortex.
Yeah.
All right, what happened to the screw?
I threw it in there, and I didn't see it after that.
It disappeared?
Yeah, roughly. It's like it freaked me out. At first, I thought I was seeing things. He did one or two things. It went half a second into the future, and then it caught up with it, or it made like a real intense magnetic field.
I've interviewed the people who did the Philadelphia experiment, Michael.
That's what the Montauk Project is.
You're messing with the same sort of stuff.
But I figured if I make a bigger one, it'd send it farther. That way I could really, like, tell if it's, like, really, like, if I was, like, sending it through time or if I was just sending it through an intense magnetic field.
In order to get enough voltage and current, you needed a big transformer. Power company has big transformers.
Yeah.
Really nice ones.
Yeah.
How did it dawn on you to borrow several of the power company's transformers?
I was originally going to buy them. Like, there's a transformer company in Kansas City that makes them for the power company.
Well, there was an idea.
I could have, like, saved my money and bought those, but those are expensive.
So you got the transformers to your house. You hooked up to the power coming into your home?
Yeah.
According to the story, you had two big poles on your porch. Is that correct?
Yeah, 3/8-inch metal rods, roughly 4 feet.
Oh, that would have made a big spark.
Yep. Yeah, I hooked up the smallest one that I could hook up without, like, overloading the cable and causing fire.
What happened?
Just that in itself is just like a giant Jacob's ladder.
When you did this, according to the newspaper, you blacked out or browned out portions of your whole town. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was like overloading the power grid because I was drawing more power than I thought I was. A lot of those people's television sets are ruined and stuff like that because I was like drawing so much power, and it was normally at between 110 and 120 volt outlet, but they were estimating I was like bringing it down to like 80 and 90 volts.
That is damaging to electronic gear.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I moved from Stanbury because half that town wants my head on a pole, I have the feeling.
Now you're a free man again, out of the pokey, and ready to begin experiments I've just learned all over again. You're going to do this again, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's say that you produced a time machine, Michael, and you actually managed to go either forward or reverse in time. What would you use it for?
Nick. The possibilities are endless, pretty much.
A very interesting interview there. A guy called Madman Mike Markhams, was able to create a time machine back in the 1990s. What's so weird thereafter, ladies and gentlemen, is that he disappeared. He vanished.
Goat conspiracy theory.
Project Blue Beam.
Weird. This fool knew the names.
Project Blue Beam is like mass manipulation of like a whole country or the whole world. Like they can put anything in the sky. They can make like, they can mass manipulate us to think aliens are here or angels came back and resurrected or anything like that.
I like that they put diseases in mosquitoes and release them. I don't like that, but I like that conspiracy theory. I like the simple shit too, like chemtrails, just because I'm reminded of it every day. I look up and I'm like, that's weird. And I like the ones about like us, that we're all Illuminati. It's gotta be the dumbest thing ever.
Well,
I don't know. Wake up every day trying to figure out. You don't know about me?
So my favorite new conspiracy theory is the one that Jay-Z must be a time traveler because he was wearing a shirt 20 years ago of a picture of himself in the future. Completely mind blown. That's correct.
Yeah, it's so weird how 20 years ago he was actually wearing a t-shirt with what looks to be himself on the front. I don't think it's actually him. I think that is an artist who had the same hairstyle, and that was the actual artist back in the day. But for whatever reason, people think it was Jay-Z because Jay-Z has taken on that same look today.
Die in 2020. Here's a theory. We all died in 2020, or reality did. Time feels broken. Reality feels off. Mandela effects. Dead celebrities suddenly alive. Everything's faster, colder, more digital. Some say 2020 wasn't just a pandemic, it was a reset. Maybe we switched timelines. Maybe this is a simulation. Maybe we never noticed because we weren't meant to.
Hi, we're the Illuminati.
Hi. Hello. Hi. So we heard about your big special. We are very excited. Yeah, thanks. Me too.
Yeah, but before you can do a special on a major cable network, we're going to need you to sign some things.
Okay, sounds good. We're also going to need you to swear a blood oath to us and our cause. And if you violate this oath, we're going to murder you and everyone that you love.
Got it. Great. You'll also need to pledge your soul to Baphomet. He's this god that we all worship.
Okay. He looks pretty cool. He's like a crazy goat man kind of thing.
Now, we will need you to include some of our messaging in your program.
Oh, okay. So you mean like there's going to be a commercial sponsor or something?
No, nothing tacky like that. No, we just want you to have some, self-destructive themes. Like we use a lot of hip-hop artists to glorify violence and drugs, pop stars to push materialism, country acts to instill suspicion of education.
Oh, okay. That sounds cool.
We'll also need to film you in a lewd act with...
Sorry, not too sure what's going on there. The clip is literally just lagging.
...minor to use as blackmail if you ever think of telling anyone about anything that happened here today.
Now, could I self-tape that, or is that something that you'd want me to shoot here? We'd like you to do that here.
Yeah. Well, finally, we're going to need a suicide note in your own handwriting, just in case things get crazy.
That was a skit by Trevor Moore, ladies and gentlemen, who died in August the 7th, 2021. It says, and listen to this, it was an accidental fall from a balcony. Wow. Accidental fall from a balcony.
Cataloged 69 different species, different life forms. There's one species that at full adulthood is about 1.5 feet. There's another species that's 10 or 12 feet. The ones that people often refer to are around 3 to 4 feet, 39 inches or so tall. We have very good forensic drawings from men who've been on the retrieval teams of what these various species look like. The reason they keep coming back, number one, it's not a coincidence that the modern era of all this started when we started detonating atomic bombs. What Edward Teller and Oppenheimer didn't understand when they were developing that is that when you detonate an atomic bomb, you get, everybody knows about an electromagnetic pulse, the pulse that goes out. knocks out all electronic communication. What people didn't know about is there's also a pulse of what's called scalar energy. And scalar is faster than the speed of light.
Basically, it was affecting the universe to the point where the aliens had to come here and say, what the hell are you, man, doing?
Hey, my dear friends, look at this. 135,000 miles per hour space object may be hostile alien craft set to attack Earth. Is 12 miles wide. Please read my message carefully and leave comments. Let me know what you think.
So they're saying in November, aliens will be touching down on Earth to come invade, y'all. Now this was published today at 3:49 p.m. Scientists are saying that a mothership is headed in our direction. And if it continues its course allegedly, by November, it will be on Earth. These scientists say that it's a possible hostile alien threat among us in only a couple of months. Now they're stating that they located this bizarre intergalactic object, which allegedly can be extraterrestrial spacecraft. I guess my next question is, should I get ready to pack? Or is they coming for old Teflon Donnie? Are they coming to restore order on planet Earth? Now what makes this story stranger is how do they know that November, not October, not December, but November, they touching down?
If you're following the 3i Atlas story, every time something new is posted about it, it just does not seem to add up. What keeps complicating things even more and more, as you can see here, this thing is an asteroid. That's exactly what it looks like. And they're saying it could move faster than the speed of light. And it's also the size of Manhattan and could get here in mid-November. There's also alleged allegations that they have claimed that they have made contact with whatever this is that's heading toward Earth. You have something, as you see here, the size of Manhattan, moving as fast as the speed of light, and it can get here by November? So does that add up to any of you? The one thing I'm gonna say here, and I wanna be very clear about, something is coming and something may happen. Why? Because it's now being publicly spoken about in the news media. Here's just one headline from the New York Post out of New York. Manhattan-sized interstellar object, AI Atlas, could release mini probes that will appear as UAPs. That's what experts are warning. This is why I always say to you, keep your head on a swivel. Pay attention to what is going on when it comes to things like this. Because if something is going to happen, or if something were to happen, keep it in the back of your mind. They already know what it is. That's why you're starting to see these news reports and people starting to talk about this on social media. Keep this thought in the back of your mind. Do you honestly believe that something that big could be coming this way, and they are clueless about it with all of the technology that we have and the world has? No one knows what's going on. Think about that. So also keep in mind that in the upcoming months, you may see things maybe in the sky or maybe on the ground. And you're gonna say to yourself, what was that? Or what is that? Keep it in the back of your mind, because we are being prepared for something that could be coming or could already be almost here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on this. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Well, I know, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in October, November, because there's been a lot of talk. So let's see what happens.
Moon landing. Bollocks. Can't land on the fucking moon. The moon's like, it's a luminary. It's like, it doesn't exist for you to drive up and land on.
You just think that was like a political play?
Clearly, obviously. If you mate, go on there, if you get your phone out, look at the fucking lunar landing, honestly. You know, like now.
I have actually looked at some of those videos, and
coat
some of
hangers
them...
and tinfoil and fucking duct tape. Come on, man. Do you know what I mean? Like that went through an infinite vacuum to no. We've got Wi-Fi now, yeah, and the signal's fucking dog shit. Yeah, you get a Wi-Fi call and you're like, it says 5G, but you're like, you can't hear nothing. But then this guy's got his little dial-up phone and he's like rang the fella on the moon. They're like, oh yes, hey Houston. Like really, honestly, you genuinely believe that as a fully grown man?
The whole moon landing stuff is extremely interesting. I want you guys to comment down below and let me know what you think, because Buzz Aldrin, a person who apparently went to the moon on one of those Apollo trips, he said it never happened.
The average person who goes to school has no idea why humanity exists. He has no idea concerning a spiritual factor in material existence. He has no general comprehension of the rules of life as these differ from the rules of social and political structures. He does not know where he came from. He does not know why he is here, and he has no idea where he's going. And on this compound ignorance, we offer degrees and make brilliant scholars out of people who have never answered any of those questions. It is one of these amazing things that we have created a great hierarchy of well-lettered ignorance. We have made everything subservient not to wisdom, but to the passing advantages of the hour. We're in exactly this position politically today.
Done that, Ali would have, well, I would have just been killed outright. Ali, they would have turned into Muti, they're eaten her,
Hannibals?
Well, they don't eat, they use the child for Muti. That means if you eat her finger or something, then you have luck for life, You must have heard of that, surely.
Like satanic stuff, like is that witchcraft?
Well, you go back in time, the Vikings and all the people before that, the different ages in which we live,
So what would have happened if
the police said to me that if they had killed her, they would have used her for Muti. Muti, it's medicine, witchcraft. I'm surely you've heard of that.
Yeah.
So she would have been her head would have been dangling from a taxi mirror, They boil the head until it's shrunk. They hang it from a taxi.
This is Elon Musk's dad. Looks just like him. Talking about witchcraft.
Bro, the amount of satanic objects for witchcraft in the average girl's room is off the charts, dude. Crystals, sage, incense, pendulums, tarot cards, Ouija boards, mirrors in their bedroom, black mirrors, also known as a scrying mirror, tobacco, tequila.
So why are you talking when you got food in your mouth, bro? I hate when people do that. We're gonna have to skip this video because of that, bro. Sorry.
In 1871, a man named Albert Pike, Confederate general, Freemason, occultist, allegedly wrote a letter predicting 3 world wars. The first would topple the monarchies of Europe. The second would bring Nazism, the Holocaust, and the creation of Israel. And the third would be sparked by a conflict between Zionism and Islam. The first 2 wars matched the script. And the third? It's already begun.
Albert Pike, Confederate general, 33rd degree Freemason, and one of the most powerful occultists of the 19th century. In 1871, he wrote this letter, addressed, stamped, and sent it to Giuseppe Mazzini, an Italian revolutionary and fellow Mason. The letter first surfaced publicly in the 1920s, but it wasn't widely discussed until after World War II. Why? Because Pike's first 2 predictions had already come true. He wrote that the First War would bring down the monarchies of Europe, especially Russia, and replace them with atheistic communism. That's exactly what happened. World War I ended the Romanov dynasty, and out of its ashes rose Lenin, the Bolsheviks, and the Soviet Union. Pike's Second War would be sparked by differences between fascists and political Zionists. It would lead to a global conflict, the extermination of Judaism in Europe, and the creation of a Jewish homeland in Palestine. World War II, Hitler, the Holocaust, and the establishment of Israel in 1948, which leaves the Third War. According to the letter, World War III would be ignited by tensions between Zionism and the Islamic world. It would be brutal, prolonged, and unlike the others, this war wouldn't end in peace. it would end in collapse. Collapse of society, collapse of belief, collapse of morality, until the world was so broken, so exhausted, that the people would accept a new global order, anything to stop the chaos. A one-world government, a one-world system. No one has ever found the original letter. The only known version was allegedly housed in the British Museum, but the museum denies it was ever there.
The Vatican is likely the most corrupt institution in our world. The Vatican is no stranger to murder, child trafficking, drug trafficking, sex exploitation, and cover-ups. Arguably one of the most famous basilicas in the world, underneath it lies a mass graveyard. So located about 5 stories beneath the basilica is actually another temple dating back to the Roman Empire. That's over 2,000 years of dead bodies. If you're wondering if those bodies are of Christians or Catholics, they're not. It was actually used for pagans. And here are some of the mosaic tiles that they found beneath the Vatican in the temple that it's built on top of. So here's a quote from one of the popes. "I believe that the church not only should apologize to the person who is gay, whom it has offended, but it has to apologize to the poor, to the exploited women, to children exploited for labor. It has to ask forgiveness for having blessed many weapons." That's a little ironic considering what the Vatican has done to make sure that it's always protected and people never expose them. This is Pope John Paul I, and he died 33 days after his election. Now, the conspiracy around his death is that he found out the Vatican was laundering mass amounts of money, and he was going to rectify the situation of getting rid of everybody in the Vatican that was corrupt. His plans were announced straight after he became the Pope, and he died 33 days later. In 2015, it was uncovered that 2 cases of child were found within the Vatican walls. And get this, not everybody involved was named, only a couple names took the blow for everybody else in the Vatican. And then the year before that, the government actually intercepted 3 deliveries directed to the Vatican, all containing drugs. Cocaine was found in condoms inside of these 3 deliveries that were intercepted. They were handed over to the Vatican in hopes that somebody within the walls would disclose who this was going to, but nobody came forward. This is St. Peter's obelisk, and not a lot of people know where it comes from. One of Rome's cruelest emperors, Caligula, actually stole this from one of Egypt's cities, Heliopolis. He stole it from Egypt and he transported it to Rome, and you know what he did with it? It was used to murder and execute Christians. They would round up every single Christian that they could find, chain them, bound them, bring them to the obelisk, and brutally murder them. Vatican
is that what
books is called the Grand Grimoire or the Red.
Yeah, so they're muting the video.
And this book is about black magic. It harnesses spells and rituals, but many believe this is the book that they use to summon the devil when they are selling their souls. Kind of like the Book of the Illuminati. The conspiracies of the Vatican can go on and on and on. It's truly a never-ending cycle. One thing we do know, the people in the Vatican are evil and corrupt. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.
Maybe everything is just a facade, just to keep everyone in order, just to keep people believing, having faith.
What you fucking do? You don't know? Viewers, you don't know who the cameraman is. You don't know why you're being made to see these things. So why? You're seeing me. I can't even see you. I may be dead by the time you watch this. Very possibly are. You don't know who's the man who's making things he wants you to see. Destroy your television sets now. You must listen to no orders. That's all I can tell you for this point of humanity.
Exactly.
You must listen to no orders. That's all I can tell you at this point of humanity. Trust me.
5 mantras to carry with you through your lives. These are mine. Number 1, all men are equal. Therefore, no one can ever be your genuine superior. Number 2, your future is as bright as you make it. Number 3, change is a constant of life, so you must never, ever lose your wisdom. Number 4, if you want to live a full and complete human life, you have to be free. And number 5, love is the answer. Love is the answer. Bon voyage!
R.I.P. Rick Mel, proper legend. One of the first actors I ever watched in my life. All right, let's leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I need from you? I need all of your thoughts and all of your comments and all of your opinions down below, especially after watching those Rick Mel clips right there, because Rick Mel, absolute legend. Be sure to hit the like button. Do subscribe to the channel if we are newly watching. Turn your notification bells on so you don't miss out on future uploads. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.